as a whole has it worse. All the suffering that we have to go through as men, all the suffering that even this douchebag has had to go through, is put aside for the sake of the female. And this is the problem. This is where men going their own way, or whatever you want to call it, men are waking up. You are the reason people like me exist, and the more videos you make, the more of me are gonna pop up. Let's continue.
Being a feminist doesn't mean giving up on those things. Being a feminist doesn't mean that your sole attention is on gender.
Of course it doesn't. See, being a feminist doesn't mean that you have to give up anything else but your interest or sympathy for men. That is the only thing you have to give up as a feminist. You have to fucking forget about men as an entire species. As an entire gender, you just need to forget about them as people and focus all your attention on women. And that is a small step for most people like you. See, you essentially hate yourself. You hate yourself, you hate other men, you hate the mirror, you hate yourself. And this is what promotes feminism. People like you.
I personally support women's rights, but I also support gay rights, and I support racial equality. It's perfectly possible to do all of those at once. Now, if you're okay with being called a feminist, and you agree that equality is a good thing and women have it off worse, you might object to being called a feminist, might object to identifying yourself as a feminist, because you're going to get a lot of shit from guys.
So you're okay with calling yourself a feminist, but you're not okay with calling yourself a feminist, and you're going to get shit from guys. Really? You know, I've been going to college for a while. Been going to school, high school, all throughout my entire life. And when the issue of sexism and feminism is brought up, nobody says a word. Nobody. For the most part, MRAs are limited to YouTube. This is reality. Sure, we want to change it, but it's the way the world is. The modern media, if you look at any news station, is focused on women 24/7. And even those that disagree with feminism disagree on other grounds. They're going to disagree on religious grounds. They're going to disagree on moral grounds. They're going to disagree on conservative grounds. And they do not disagree on the fact that women, quote, have it worse. What world do you live in? What country do you live in? Who are you surrounded by? And where can I go to meet these people? If there's a congregation of people who actually disagree with feminism, please let me know. I'd love to meet these people and congratulate them for fucking your shit.
There's just no arguing with that. The comments on this video are probably going to be full of a bunch of hateful bullshit, the same way that the last video that I made.
And still you keep on making these videos. And really, are they hateful bullshit? I assure you that within the first 10, 20 comments, there's always a couple of people who are going to say that they disagree with feminism. They may not be so polite about it. But there's always a majority of MRAs and a majority of people who make conscious and logical arguments towards you, which you either block or ignore. It isn't hate. People actually disagree with you on a logical level, and what do? You ignore them. You do not engage because you don't have a backbone, because you don't stand for anything that's worth a damn, because you know down inside of you that you are wrong. You have nothing of value to add to the society other than bow down to women and think yourself something. Think that you're worth anything because of the approval of one or two feminists. In your voice, in your tone of voice, in your body language, I can tell that you've never stood up to anybody, and you never will. This is the best that you've done. And even so, nobody cares. See, even within your own feminist community, you are nothing. And if you truly believe that women are equal to men, and you want to see women be put in the same position as men, you will be spit out of your own movement. God, there's still more left.
I can't do anything about that, but there are benefits to identifying yourself as a feminist. feminist. There are benefits to standing up to the stupid, sexist bullshit guys spew.
Of course there are benefits. You're going to be accepted into society. Other women they're not gonna fuck you, they're not gonna be with you, but hey, at least you're one of the good guys. You're gonna be one of those nice guys which people talk about. And let me tell you, I'm not an MRA so that I can be seen as not a nice guy. But I'd rather be cast out of society and have my balls with me than be a pushover like you are and be cuddled by feminists just to be trampled over the way they do every single man. So leave me to my despair. Thank you very much.
1, you get to sleep at night with a clear conscience. Every time someone says, get back in the kitchen, every time someone makes a rape joke, every time some guy talks about how a woman's a slut because she fucked him, you get to stand up to that asshole. You get to stand up for the women in the room. You get to oppose that viewpoint for the guys that are on the
Fuck
fence.
you. Here's what you do. Anytime somebody has an argument with a woman, you never, in any single case, understand or consider where the guy's coming from. You're one of those guys that you see a guy arguing with a woman and you immediately take her side. And you find some sort of happiness in that. You sleep well at night only ever considering one side of the argument just because she's fucking smaller? Just because she's a female, you always take her side, and you believe this makes you a good person, and you actually feel that you sleep better like this. Fuck you. Fuck people like you. There are many, many crazy, fucked up females in this world. There are many fucked up people in this world. You cannot, by default, always take the side of one gender. Not even if you're an MRA or a feminist, whatever. That is just stupid. That is idiotic. That is to be an imbecile. Arguments have a reason of being. When a couple is arguing, there is a reason behind it. You cannot automatically pick, not even me as an MRA, I don't automatically pick the side of a man. There are many douchebags, and there exist in this society. There do exist misogynists. The only difference is between yours and my movement is that I also accept the existence of misandrists, but you obviously couldn't give a fuck.
It actually feels pretty fucking.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. When she pats you on the shoulder and says, "Thank you for standing up for me," without even considering where the other guy was coming from. You're the worst. You are the worst of feminists. You don't even have an argument in your head going back and forth. You do not consider the other party as a person.
And the other reason that identifying as a feminist as a guy is helpful to you as a guy, it frees you from all the bullshit that you have to do if you're against feminism. If you're consciously opposing it, you have to act macho. You have to espouse masculinity all the fucking
Fuck
times.
that. You don't have to espouse. Fuck that. You don't have to pretend to be anything that you're not. If you're against feminism, you don't have to act any differently. Well, compared to you, I guess you would. But in general, no. All you have to do is take people and consider what they're saying and consider what's actually happening in our society, and then from that, consider what your actions are going to be. You're gonna have to put arguments through a logic filter. And if that's too much to ask from a person like you, then you know what? We don't need you in this movement. We don't need you in this world. People like you should be cast out of existence. Why are there people like you in this society who don't even use their own logic and don't even think arguments through? Why?
To justify your place in the world. As a feminist, you basically get to say your gender doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if you're a guy, it doesn't matter if you're a girl. You get to act however the fuck you
Really?
want to act.
You get to act however the fuck you want to act. Have you ever seen a feminist oppose the way that men are treated? See what happens to them. They are casted out of the movement. They are stalked. They are harassed. You don't get to act however you want. You get to act only in one way. And it is a mold which you must fill. And this mold says the following: men are shit, and you better fucking believe it.
It feels pretty fucking good. And the third big reason that you should be a feminist, that it benefits you, It benefits the whole fucking world. Every time you stand up to sexist bullshit in conversation, every time you support a politician that supports equality, you're making the world better for every female.
Listen to this guy. You can tell that he does it not because he may actually believe in it, which I think he does. He does it for the feeling, for the gratitude, for the admiration of his fellow feminists. He does it because he wants to feel accepted in this group. See, I don't have that constraint. I make my videos however the fuck I want it, and if an MRA disagrees with me, then so be it. But this guy, he does it because he wants to be part of this bigger group. He wants to be he wants to be taken in. He wants to be admired. He wants to be looked upon as the ideal man. And you can tell just in this guy's body language and in his tone of voice that that is what he truly aspires. And if that's not a vagina, I don't know what is, man. You're fucking disgusting.
Every female family member you have. Now, the cost is actually pretty fucking much.
Fuck you. You know what my female family members say? You wouldn't even believe. I remember one distinct time that I came back home from having this argument with this female, and I was a child at this time. And my mother pulled me aside and she said, "Listen to me carefully. If a girl starts arguing with you, I don't expect you to just hit her. I don't expect you to hit anybody for that matter if you're arguing with them. But if she so much as touches you and you do not hit that bitch back, I will beat you up personally. I did not bring you into this world so that you can be pushed around by anybody. Fuck all that feminist bullshit. You're going to stand up for yourself. And if you don't do that, I brought you into this world and I will fucking take you out." And this is what my mother said word for word. So I don't know what type of females are in your family, but not all women feel the way that you think that they do. A lot of women sympathize with MRAs. Girl Rights What is one of the most popular ones. So maybe you ought to check her channel before you start spewing all this bullshit, man.
Be a feminist. Basically, you have to argue with guys that say
no, you
shit.
don't. No, you don't. If a guy ever even disagrees with the feminist, you have an entire team that will fundamentally destroy them. So you don't have to support your arguments. You can make bullshit videos like this and nothing's gonna happen. So, fuck you.
Like I said, when someone makes a rape joke, when someone says, "Hey, get back in the kitchen, bitch," you just get to say, "Shut the fuck up."
Anytime I've heard of anybody making a joke like that, it's an actual joke. Like they say it because they don't really mean it. Because it's funny because it's not something that people say. It's funny because it's fake. You don't understand comedy. You fundamentally don't understand the purpose of satire and what comedy actually is and the purpose of these things that people are saying. Nobody actually believes that women belong in the kitchen. Not in this society. I don't believe that, and fuck conservatives, by the way. But see, you don't even consider anything else. Anybody who disagrees with feminism, in your mind, wants a woman to be in the kitchen, barefoot, naked, and pregnant. This is the stupidity that boggles my mind. I cannot understand how people like you even exist. You own a computer. You obviously have a YouTube account. You know MRAs. You haven't even bothered to watch one of the videos because otherwise you wouldn't be spewing all this bullshit. And still you want me to take you serious as if this is a fucking argument, like you have a fucking point?
It's not hard. You barely have to put work into it. And really you get to laugh at all the stupid assholes calling you names, desperately trying to shout you down. So go out and do it. Feels good, man.
So that's it for this video. I can't take a second longer of looking at this douchebag's face. I will continue to enjoy my existence. I will continue to enjoy my arguments. And I will continue standing up to feminism happy. I don't care what the consequences are. My identity is not based upon a group. I don't need to be a member of this enormous group. I don't need people backing me up. I know what's wrong and I know what's right based on logic. This is what I suggest that you use. It is stupid to do things just because other people may like it. This is not a proper motivation. You should do things based on whether they're right or wrong. So that's it for this video. I've had enough of this guy. I'm pretty sure my blood pressure's out the roof, so I'm gonna cut it. Thanks everybody for watching.